Imagine sitting at your in-laws' dinner table on a regular Tuesday night. Apple pie's being served, your father-in-law's talking about golf, everything's normal. Then your wife looks at you and casually says, "You already knew I'd choose him if he ever asked me." Not whispered, not apologetic, just said it out loud in front of her parents like she was commenting on the weather. What would you do? Most guys would explode, make a scene, demand answers. But this man? He set down his fork, thanked her parents for dinner, grabbed his jacket, and walked out without another word. By the time she got home that night, all her stuff was packed in boxes on the porch and the locks were changed. She had nowhere to go because the house was only in his name.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Before we dive into this absolutely insane story, let me ask you something. Have you ever had someone you love look you dead in the eye and tell you to disappear? Like, straight up tell you they'd be better off without you? Well, buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you is the most savage comeback story you'll ever hear. So picture this. Tuesday night, regular family dinner at the in-laws' place. Nothing special, just the usual routine we'd done 100 times before. Her mom's serving up apple pie, her dad's in the middle of some boring golf story, and I'm sitting there with my fork halfway to my mouth thinking about what's on TV later. Then she drops it. "You already knew I'd choose him if he ever asked me." Not whispered, not mumbled under her breath, just said it out loud like she was commenting on the weather or asking someone to pass the salt. Casual as hell. The entire room went dead silent. Her mom's hand froze on the pie server mid-scoop. Her dad stopped talking mid-sentence, his mouth literally hanging open. I could hear the old grandfather clock ticking on the wall, each second feeling like an hour. And she was smiling. Not embarrassed, not apologetic, not "oops, did I say that out loud?" Just this small, satisfied smile like she'd been waiting to drop that bomb and finally found the perfect moment. I looked at her for maybe 3 seconds, long enough to understand this wasn't a slip-up. This wasn't her being drunk or careless or joking around. This was intentional. This was her truth, served up at her parents' dinner table like it was no big deal. I set my fork down real slow, picked up my napkin, wiped my mouth. "Thank you for dinner, Mrs. Dixon, Mr. Dixon. The pot roast was excellent." I stood up, pushed my chair in. The legs scraped against the hardwood floor way too loud in that dead silence. Her dad opened his mouth like he wanted to say something, then closed it again. "Wait, where are you going?" She wasn't smiling anymore, confused now, like I'd missed my cue in whatever scene she was directing in her head. I didn't answer, just walked straight to the front door, grabbed my jacket from the coat rack. "Are you seriously leaving?" Her voice followed me, sharper now. "It was just a joke." I opened the door. November air hit me cold and clean. "It wasn't a joke," I said without turning around. Then I left. The drive home took 20 minutes. I didn't speed, didn't slam my hands on the steering wheel, didn't blast angry music. Just drove normal, like any other Tuesday night. But my brain was working differently now. Clearer. Like someone had flipped on a light switch in a dark room and suddenly I could see all the furniture I'd been tripping over for months. The late nights at the office, the phone turned face down on the table, the way she'd started dressing up for work but coming home looking different, tired but satisfied, like she'd been somewhere that mattered more than our house. I'd noticed all of it, of course I had, but I'd chosen to trust her. Chosen to believe her explanations about deadlines and projects and team meetings. That choice ended tonight at that dinner table. I pulled into our driveway. Our house, white panels, blue shutters, the small front porch I'd built myself last summer with my own 2 hands. Inside, everything looked exactly the same. Her shoes by the door, her jacket on the rack, framed photos of us smiling on the walls like we were actually happy. I went straight to the garage and found the cardboard boxes I'd saved from our last move, started carrying them upstairs, one by one. Her closet first. I pulled dresses off hangers, folded them carefully, packed them into boxes. Not angry, not throwing things around like some psycho, just systematic and methodical.
Shoes, jewelry, that fancy perfume her sister gave her for Christmas that cost more than my work boots. Bathroom next. Makeup, hair products, that purple toothbrush she'd insisted on buying because it matched the towels better. I worked for maybe an hour, maybe two, lost complete track of time. My phone kept buzzing on the dresser, text after text lighting up the screen. Where did you go? This is ridiculous. We need to talk about this. I turned the phone face down and kept packing. Nightstand next. Books she never read, that journal she never wrote in but kept anyway for the aesthetic, charger cables. Downstairs to the kitchen, that expensive blender she'd used exactly twice. Coffee mugs from places we'd visited back when we still did things together. By midnight, I had 8 boxes stacked neat and organized by the front door. Everything that was clearly, obviously hers. I sat on the couch, picked up my phone. 17 missed calls, 12 texts. The last one said, "I'm coming home. We're going to talk about this like adults." I looked at those boxes by the door. Then I stood up and headed to the garage. I found the lockbox where we kept important papers. Inside was the spare key and the business card for the locksmith who'd helped us when we first moved in. I called the 24-hour emergency number. Guy answered on the 3rd ring, voice groggy. "Yeah? I need locks changed. Tonight. I'll pay double." He was there in 40 minutes. While he worked on the door, drilling out the old locks and installing new ones, I carried all 8 boxes outside, set them on the porch, neat and visible. Everything organized, nothing thrown around. Just her stuff, ready to go. The locksmith handed me the new keys. "Domestic situation?" he asked. "Something like that. Seen it before. Good luck, man." He left. I went back inside, locked the door with the shiny new key, and sat back down on the couch. Then I waited. Her car pulled up at 1:30 in the morning. I heard the door slam, footsteps on the porch, then the key scratching in the lock. Once, twice, 3 times. What the hell? More scratching, frustrated now. Then pounding. "Open the door!" Her voice was loud, echoing in the quiet neighborhood. "I know you're in there." I didn't move, just sat on my couch, in my house, listening. "This is insane." More pounding. "You can't just lock me out of my own house." Our house, she'd called it just last week when bragging to her friend about the renovations. My house now, actually. Only my name on the deed, something her parents had insisted on when we bought it since I'd put down the entire down payment. Just in case, her dad had said. Guess it was just in case after all. The knocking got louder, then suddenly stopped. I heard her voice again, muffled, talking on the phone to someone. Then footsteps going down the porch stairs. Car door, engine starting. She left. I sat there in the dark living room of the house I'd bought, that I'd fixed up with my own hands, that I'd made into a home. And for the first time in months, maybe years, I felt like I could actually breathe. The boxes sat on the porch all night. By morning, they'd be gone. But that wasn't my problem anymore. Nothing about her was my problem anymore. I woke up on the couch at 6 in the morning, neck stiff, still wearing yesterday's clothes. For about 5 seconds, I thought maybe it was all a bad dream. Then I saw the empty space where her reading chair used to be, the gaps on the bookshelf where her stuff had been. Not a dream. I made coffee, strong, black, the kind that tastes like burnt rubber but gets you moving. My phone had 32 notifications waiting. I scrolled through them while the coffee brewed. Her, "I'm staying at my parents' house." Her, "We need to talk." Her, "You're being childish." Her mom, "Please call me, let's work this out." Her dad, "Son, let's be reasonable here." Her best friend Catherine, "What did you do?" That last one actually made me laugh out loud. What did I do? Right. I deleted every single message, blocked her number, blocked her parents, blocked Catherine. The coffee finished brewing, and I sat at the kitchen table with my cup. 3 years of marriage, 5 years together total, and it ended with one sentence at a dinner table. Except it didn't really end there, did it? That was just when I finally started paying attention. I pulled out my laptop and opened my email. Started looking through old messages, searching for patterns I'd been too trusting to see before. There. 6 months ago. Working late again, don't wait up. 4 months ago. Girls' night, be back late. 2 months ago. Conference this weekend, probably won't have much signal. I'd believed every single one. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered without thinking. You can't just throw someone out of their home. Her voice, using someone else's phone. I didn't throw you out. You left. You changed the locks. My house, my locks. We're married. That's not how it works. Tell me something, I said. Who is he? The guy you'd choose. Who is he? Silence on the other end. Long, heavy silence. Doesn't matter now, does it? Her voice was different now, harder. You overreacted. I was just talking. You're making this into something it's not. I'm making this into exactly what it is. Which is what? Over. I hung up, blocked that number too. The coffee was getting cold. I dumped it out, poured another cup, and sat back down. My phone rang again. This time I recognized the number. My buddy, Wyatt. Time to let someone know what was really going on.
Dude, Catherine just called Marion, Wyatt said the second I answered. Marion was his wife. What's going on? She said something stupid at dinner last night. I left. Changed the locks. That's it. That's it? Man, what did she say? I told him, word for word. The dinner table, her parents sitting right there, that satisfied smile on her face. He was quiet for a long moment. Oh, damn. Yeah. You need anything? Want to grab a beer later? Maybe. I'll let you know. Good friend. Didn't push. Didn't tell me I was overreacting. Just offered to be there. I spent the rest of the morning documenting everything. Screenshots of texts, calendar entries showing all those late nights, credit card statements showing charges at restaurants I'd never been to. Not planning anything specific yet, just preparing. Around noon, another unknown number called. Stop ignoring me. Her voice was sharp now, angry. We need to figure this out. There's nothing to figure out. You can't just end a marriage over one comment. Watch me. I have rights, legal rights. You can't keep me from my own home. Call a lawyer then. Are you serious right now? Completely. I hung up and blocked that number too. That afternoon, Wyatt texted me. Dude, check your email. I pulled it up. Message from someone named Savannah. Subject line, about your wife. Hi, I don't know if you remember me. We met at your Christmas party 2 years ago. I work with your wife. I think you should know that she and Ashton have been seeing each other since last spring. I'm sorry. I thought you deserved to know. Savannah. Ashton. That name hit me like a punch to the gut. I knew that name. The coworker she'd mentioned a few times. The guy from that conference 2 months ago. Last spring. That was 8 months ago, not 6 like I'd been thinking. 8 months of lying, of late nights and conferences and working late. 8 months of me trusting her while she was choosing someone else. I texted Wyatt back. Got it. Him. You okay? Me. Yeah. I wasn't surprised anymore, just tired. Tired of finding out new details about how blind I'd been. But I wasn't going to be blind anymore. Not about any of it.
She was sitting on my porch when I got home from work that evening. No Catherine this time, no backup. Just her, wrapped in a jacket, arms crossed against the cold. I parked the truck and got out. We need to talk, she said, standing up. No, we don't. Please. I walked past her to the door, keys already in my hand. She followed me. I got the divorce papers today. Good. Sign them. I don't want to divorce. I unlocked the door. She grabbed my arm. I stopped, looked down at her hand on me. Don't touch me, I said quietly. She let go immediately, fear flashing across her face. Good. Just talk to me. 5 minutes. You had months to talk. You chose to spend that time with Ashton instead. Her face changed. Pure panic. How do you... Someone told you. Doesn't matter who. 8 months. That's not a lie. That's a fact. Nothing happened for most of that time. We were just friends.
Stop lying. I opened my door. I'm done with the lies. I'm not. She grabbed my arm again, desperate now. Please, I messed everything up. I know that. But we can fix this. Go to therapy. Start over. I pulled my arm free. I don't want to start over with you. Because of one mistake? 8 months isn't one mistake. It's a choice. Over and over, every single day for 8 months, you chose him. He meant nothing. I was confused. I was stupid. You were cheating. Not physically. Emotionally, physically, doesn't matter anymore. You checked out of this marriage and into whatever you had with him. And now that he doesn't want you, you want back in. She was crying now, real tears streaming down her face. He doesn't matter. You matter. We matter. No, I said, we don't. Not anymore. I went inside. She tried to follow, but I blocked the doorway. Please, she whispered, please don't do this. Sign the papers. Make this easy. I can't lose you. You already did. You just didn't notice. I closed the door and locked it. She stood outside crying for maybe 20 minutes. I could hear it through the door, but I didn't move, didn't open it. Just sat on my couch and waited. Eventually I heard her car start, watched through the window as she drove away. My phone rang an hour later. Her dad. Son, she's at our house. She's devastated. Okay. That's all you have to say? What do you want me to say, Mr. Dixon? She had an affair. She told me she'd choose him over me. Now she's upset because he doesn't want her and I won't take her back. Silence. Ask her about Ashton. 8 months of late nights and conferences. Ask her. More silence. The divorce papers are drafted. She can sign them or drag this out. Her choice, but I'm done. I hung up. I hired a lawyer Friday morning. Mrs. Cunningham, 60 years old, sharp as a knife, zero patience for nonsense. She reviewed everything in her office. The deed, the bank statements, the timeline I documented. You're in a strong position, she said. House is yours, no kids, short marriage, she works full-time. Her parents' lawyer is asking for spousal support. She smiled. Not friendly, more like a shark spotting blood. Let them ask. They won't get it. 3-year marriage, both employed. She makes $45,000 a year. Judge will laugh them out of court. What about her claiming emotional distress? Did you hit her? No. Threaten her? No. Destroy her property? Packed it and left it outside. Someone stole it. Not my problem what happens to property, not on my land. She wrote notes on her legal pad. I like you. You're practical. Makes my job easier. We spent an hour going through everything. She drafted response papers, set a timeline. One more thing, she said as I was leaving. She's going to escalate. They always do when they realize they're losing. Don't engage. Don't respond to texts or calls. Everything goes through me now. Understood. Her parents' lawyer tried every angle over the next few months. Claimed the house was marital property, claimed I'd abandoned her without cause, claimed she deserved support because she'd sacrificed her career for the marriage. All lies, all easily disproven. The judge wasn't impressed. Short marriage, both employed, no kids, no shared property. Clean break. She fought it hard, showed up to court crying, playing the victim. Her lawyer painted me as cold and heartless. Mrs. Cunningham destroyed them with facts. The deed in my name only, the timeline showing her 8-month affair, the witnesses who'd heard what she said at that dinner table. 3 months after I walked out of her parents' house, the divorce was final. She walked away with nothing but what she'd brought into the marriage, which wasn't much. I kept the house, kept my truck, kept my life. Work stayed steady. My boss Douglas even gave me a raise in February. You've earned it. 5 years, reliable, good worker. I took it. The house felt different without her stuff everywhere. Cleaner, simpler, mine. I painted the bedroom, got rid of that awful beige she'd insisted on. Dark blue instead, looked way better. Fixed the fence in the backyard, built new shelves in the garage. Projects I'd been putting off because she always had other priorities. Her priorities, not ours. Took me a while to see that clearly. I ran into Savannah at the grocery store in March, the woman who'd sent me that email about the affair. "Hey," she said, nervous. "How are you doing?" "Good. Thanks for the heads up back then." I felt terrible not saying something sooner. You said it when it mattered. That's what counts. She smiled, relieved. For what it's worth, nobody at the office talks to her much anymore, after everything came out. What came out? About her and Ashton? Turns out she wasn't the only one. He'd been doing the same thing with at least 2 other women there. Married guy, 3 kids. His wife found out, showed up at the office. Whole thing exploded. I almost felt bad for her. Almost. She still work there? I asked. She quit last month. Too awkward, I guess. We talked for a few more minutes about normal stuff. Weather, work, nothing heavy. I got home and put the groceries away, made dinner, chicken and rice. My phone buzzed. Text from a number I didn't recognize. "I hope you're happy now." Her. Different number again. I stared at it for a minute. Thought about responding. Thought about blocking it. Then I just deleted it. Didn't block, didn't respond. Just delete it. She wasn't worth the energy anymore. April came around. Weather got warmer. I started running in the mornings. Nothing crazy, just a couple miles. Felt good, though. Cleared my head before work. Wyatt invited me to a barbecue at his place. His brother was in town, some cousins, just family and friends. I went. Met his cousin Juliet, teacher at the elementary school. Funny, easy to talk to, genuine smile. We spent most of the afternoon just talking about normal stuff. Books, movies, her students. She laughed at my jokes, even the bad ones. "You're different than Marion described," she said. "What did Marion say?" "That you'd been through something rough, but you were handling it well. Marion talks too much." She smiled. "Marion cares about you. That's different." We exchanged numbers. Nothing serious, just friendly. But it felt nice talking to someone without all the baggage, without the history, without the lies. 2 weeks later, Juliet texted me, asked if I wanted to grab coffee. I said yes. We met downtown at this small local shop, talked for 2 hours about everything and nothing. She didn't ask about my ex, didn't pry, just let me be whoever I was right now. "You want to do this again sometime?" she asked when we were leaving. "Yeah, I'd like that." We did dinner the next week. Movie after that. Nothing rushed, nothing forced, just easy. I didn't tell her I was falling for her, too soon for that, but I liked being around her, liked how simple it felt. No games, no wondering where I stood, just honest. May rolled around, a year since everything started falling apart with my ex. I was sitting on my porch one evening, beer in hand, watching the sun go down. My phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me. "Hello? It's me." Her voice, smaller now, tired. "What do you want?" "I just wanted to say I'm sorry. For everything. For what I did, for what I said, all of it." I didn't respond. "I know it's too late. I know you've moved on. I just needed you to know that I know I messed up, that it was my fault, not yours." "Okay." "That's it? Just okay? What do you want me to say?" "I don't know. Something." "There's nothing to say. It's done. We're done. You apologized. I heard it. Now we both move on." Silence on her end for a long moment. "Are you happy?" she asked finally. "I'm getting there." "Good. You deserve that. So do you. Figure out what you want, then go get it, without dragging someone else down in the process." "I will. I'm trying." "Good luck with that." I hung up, sat there on my porch, finished my beer. Thought about calling Juliet, but decided to wait until tomorrow. Inside, the house was quiet, clean, mine. The pictures of us were gone, replaced with nothing yet, just empty wall space. I'd fill it eventually with something that mattered, something true. My phone buzzed, text from Juliet. "Hope you're having a good night." I smiled, typed back, "Getting better? You free this weekend?" Her, "For you? Absolutely." I set my phone down, looked out at the street, at the house I'd built into a home, at the life I was building into something worth living. 3 years of marriage down the drain. Could have been worse. Could have wasted more time, more energy, more of myself on someone who didn't value any of it. But I didn't. I walked away when it mattered. stood my ground when she tried to come back. And now I was free. Actually free. Not angry, not bitter, just done with that chapter and ready for whatever came next.
6 months later, I was still in that same house, still running in the mornings, still working at the electrical supply company where Douglas had given me another raise. Juliet and I were official now. She'd met Wyatt and Marion, got along great with them. She'd even met my parents over Thanksgiving, and my mom had pulled me aside later to tell me, "This one's different. This one's real." She was right. One Saturday morning, Juliet and I were painting the living room, some warm gray color she'd picked out that actually looked good. We were laughing about something stupid, paint on our hands, music playing from my phone. This was what it was supposed to feel like. Easy, happy, real. My phone buzzed on the counter, text from a number I didn't recognize. "I heard you're with someone new. I hope she makes you happy." I showed it to Juliet, my ex. She looked at it, then at me. "You going to respond?" I deleted the message. "Nope." "Good." She kissed my cheek, left a little paint smudge there. "Keep painting. This wall isn't going to finish itself." I laughed and went back to work. That evening, we sat on the porch I'd built, the same porch where her boxes had sat that night, the same house I'd fought to keep, but it felt completely different now, lighter, like all the bad energy had finally cleared out. "Thank you," I said to Juliet. "For what?" "For being real, for being honest, for being here." She squeezed my hand. "Thank you for letting me in." I looked at the house, at the woman beside me, at the life I'd rebuilt from scratch. 3 years of marriage, one sentence at a dinner table, and everything changed. But I didn't just survive it. I came out better, stronger, happier. Sometimes the worst thing that happens to you turns out to be the best thing that could have happened. I stood up, pulled Juliet to her feet. "Come on, let's go inside. I'll make dinner." She smiled. "Our home." Yeah, our home. And this time, I got it right.